Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming here tonight, and welcome to the Owen Wilwell room tour. This has been a requested thing since I ever started this channel, and I decided that I would finally give it to you because I think you guys deserve it. So, let me begin with all of the stuff on my wall. You guys are probably wondering, Owen, what is on your wall? You got so much there. And I'm glad you asked. Let me walk you through some of it. So, a lot of the art on my wall is cutouts from magazines. I like to go and just pick up magazines because they're cheap, and a lot of them have some pretty cool looking stuff in them. So I like to cut out little pages from that and stick them to my wall. And along with the sort of magazine, sort of thrifted look, I thrift a lot of the art on my wall too. So some of the most recent purchases I've had for my wall from the thrift store were this picture of cats on a couch that I got at a thrift store. And then I also got this big painting of a bunch of circles that was actually in my Return of Owen Wilwell video in the background. So a lot of things in my room, I don't really know what they are, but they are thrifted, and I like the way that they look. And speaking of the things that I like the way that they look, let me talk about the color of my walls. Even though they're not very visible because of all the covering up with cutouts from magazines and thrifted posters and all that, the color beige that I picked I think it looks really nice in my room. My camera doesn't do the perfect job of representing it, but it is like my favorite color of beige. I picked it myself. I'm very proud of the decision. It was amazing. So along with that, I would like to introduce some of the plants that I have in my room. Unfortunately, all of the plants in my room are fake. I would never be able to keep a plant alive. That is too much work. I cannot take care of another living thing. So I have fake plants. So I've got my plant in the corner, which really, it adds some life to the dark abyss of my room. And then I've got the plants on my shelf, which just sort of fill in some space on my shelves. I couldn't think of anything else to put on there. I ran out of junk to throw on there, so I put some fake plants on there. And then finally, I want to show you guys my lamp. This specifically is the first lamp that I have ever gotten. I like the way that it looks, and it is sort of like a history piece in my room because it's the first thing I've ever gotten. And speaking of history, I just wanted to let you guys know that I've lived in this room since I was 2 years old, which may come as a shock to you because, as I said, I picked the color of beige for this room, and the way that that worked is my parents laid me out in front of the wall of color swatches at a Home Depot or some paint section of a store, and they made me crawl to a color of beige, which were conveniently on the floor. So I crawled to the color of beige that you see now on my walls, and I love it to this day. Maybe it's nostalgia, maybe it's not, but yes, room since I was 2. So that is Owen's room. Let me know. Don't let me know anything. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.